Hey everyone, it's Ben. Wednesday, and like I said earlier in the week, I'm doing a series this week on San Francisco noir films, horror films, thriller films, whatever you want to call them. But they're all films that have been shot in the city and have sort of an ominous, macabre kind of quality, or they could be qualified as horror or thrillers. But I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about these this week, and I hope people are enjoying them. So I've done Twisted on Monday, I did The Game yesterday, and today I'm doing Copycat, which is a very good film, very underrated. It came out the same year Seven came out, so a lot of people might not be as familiar with this one as they are Seven. It doesn't get talked about as much, but I think it's one of those hidden gems that it did pretty well when it came out in theaters, but people don't talk about it like they talk about Seven, since both films kind of came out at the same time. The same thing kind of happened with Sixth Sense and Stir of Echoes, which I actually like Stir of Echoes better, but that's a whole nother subject. But stay tuned for the review, and I appreciate everybody watching. So the movie Copycat. So like I said, this movie came out in 1995. It was directed by John Amiel. It was also written by Ann Bitterman and David Madsen. The music is done by Christopher Young. Very good score. The cast includes Sigourney Weaver as Helen Hudson, Holly Hunter as A.J. Monahan, Dermot Mulroney as Reuben Getz, William McNamara as Peter Foley, Harry Connick Jr. in a very creepy performance as Darrell Lee Cullum, and of course the great Will Patton, great character actor, as Nicoletti. So what the film focuses on, it's a crime profile and psychologist Helen Hudson, who through a traumatic encounter with Darrell Lee Cullum becomes agoraphobic, which confines her to her home. During this time also, detectives Monahan and Getz are on the trail of a serial killer in San Francisco whose MO is copying other serial killers' methods. A couple of the serial killers are like Jeffrey Dahmer, the Boston Strangler, and Helen understands, she reaches out to the police because she's understanding the motives, and through her encounters with Monahan and Getz, they try to figure out the pattern that this copycat killer is doing, and when he was trying to figure out when he'll strike next. Now, Copycat was a movie I found like a little while ago, just at a used, like a Rasputin's or used DVD and music store, and it's a film I hadn't watched in a long time, and I watched it the other day, and I just was so, that's sort of what sort of prompted me to do these videos this week. I was just so into the film, and I forgot what a hidden gem it was. Like I said, this movie came out when Seven came out, and Seven is kind of, everybody knows Seven when you bring it up. You talk about Copycat, a lot of people aren't as familiar with it, and it's a shame because I think it's just as good as Seven. I'm a big fan of Seven, but I'm a big fan of Copycat as well, and it's a very disturbing, very eerie film. I think one of the creepiest films that's ever been filmed in San Francisco. And the locales in it are not as noir-like as some of the other films I've talked about, like Twisted or The Game. They do a lot of filming down by, like, they did some shots in the San Francisco Blues Festival. Most of the interior scenes were done on Treasure Island, but they do have they built for Helen's apartment. It was built as a facade down by Fort Mason, down by the coast, which is, really well done. But it's a very scary film, and I think the music, like I said, by Christopher Young, kind of make it feel like a noir type film. The performances in it are great. Sigourney Weaver, been a fan of her since Alien, just tremendous actress. Not as big of a fan of Holly Hunter, but she's amazing in this film as MJ Monahan, and I've always liked Dermot Mulroney, and he is great as Reuben Getz. But I think the standout in this, and he doesn't have as much screen time as you would think from the trailers when they came out, but Harry Connick Jr. as Darrell Lee Cullum is eerily creepy, and he does a great performance in this. Even though he's got very small screen time, he does a great job. And not underused, but not as well known, William McNamara is very creepy as serial killer Peter Foley, who's actually the copycat killer that they are tracking. Very scary performance by him. Most of the performances he had done up to this point, he'd been sort of the good-looking guy, kind of the pretty boy, and this is a very big departure for him, and he pulls it off without a hitch. So yeah, this is a great film. 100% recommend it. it's one that really sticks with you after you watch it. It's similar to Seven, not as bleak as Seven was, but it's a very good film. Very good use of the city, and like I said, excellent direction, excellent music. The story is very well done. Couldn't say enough good things about it, and some terrific performances. So if you guys ever get a chance and you can find this one, pick it up and watch it, because I definitely recommend it. And again, thanks everybody for watching, and stay tuned for a new movie from San Francisco Noir /thriller/horror tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everybody.